Welcome to the 50th episode of Storytime at the Rubus, a weekly podcast about the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. I'm your host, Sharla.
And I'm Daniel, and when you talked me into doing this, did you think that we would go for 50 episodes?
I thought we'd go 2 or 3.
You didn't have much faith in your own project?
No, I never have faith in my own projects.
Why not, though? I feel like Sharla was the one that originally had the idea to put this together because she wanted to collect all these funny stories and interview all these interesting people. So, like, I had faith in the project. I wanted to, do the graphics and set up the RSS feed and get the bandwidth set up. Like, I was like, hey, Charles got a great idea. And here we are, like, 50 episodes later. Why did you not have faith in your own idea?
I never have the willpower to see a project through to the end.
Well, that's why you and I work together so well, because you had a great idea, and maybe I had the willpower that you didn't think that you would have.
Right. That's why we make a good team. Because I'm the ideas person, and you have the willpower to actually see things through.
I think it's more that I'm pretty stubborn with these things and don't stop until I make sure that it happens.
True.
That applies with so many different things. That applies with some of the work that I've been doing on the bus itself this past week.
Good point.
Have you seen what I've been up to out there?
Yes, you've been out there really painting on it and really getting some glitter paint on it, I saw.
I went to Michael's and I was looking for some paint supplies because I've been touching some things up and stuff, and I found glitter paint for $2.50 a bottle. I'm like, well, this is cool. I'll buy 2 of these and see how this works. And it works fantastic. It glitters all over now.
Ooh.
I started by just putting some on the Bonnaroo logo on the back. And I'm like, this stuff is great. So I put it like on the front too. You haven't seen it. But the grill of the bus is kind of bedazzled out now a little bit.
Oh, so the bus is going to be glittery and bedazzled this year.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what it looks like when you shine a light on it.
Ooh.
It might blind people. I don't know. We'll see about that.
I can't wait for everyone at Bonnaroo to see it.
But hey, before we really get into this episode, I wanted to thank everybody for sticking with us for 50 episodes. Actually, it's more than that because we've done a number of like bonus episodes and stuff. So it's really like probably like 55 or something like that.
Cool, yeah. But
we have been doing this for a year and a half, close to 2 years, I suppose. And in that whole time, there has not been a Bonnaroo, if you think about it.
That's so wild.
Because we started it the fall after the Bonnaroo of 2019. And at that time, there was no reason to expect that there wouldn't be a Bonnaroo 2020, So I feel we took a month or 2 off at different times when everything was dead and there wasn't much to talk about. But through that time, we still kept plugging away. I'm just as shocked as anybody else is that we kept finding interesting things to talk about. But I shouldn't be shocked that we found a lot of interesting people to talk to.
I'm very excited about this week's interview.
Yeah, you set me up with this. You told me that we got a message to our Instagram with somebody. I've been crazy busy with work this week. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Set it up. It was almost like you were setting up like a play date for me to go like play outside with new friends or whatever. Like we're going to go play with Tonka trucks or ride bikes together. But yeah, can you tell me a little bit about our guest this week?
Okay, yes. Her name is Jamie, and she is from Austin, Texas. And she is a fantastic resource on Bonnaroo's ADA services.
Yeah, I had always heard about how Bonnaroo is like pretty much the best festival when it comes to these kind of things and making sure that everyone can enjoy Roo equally. And she told me a little bit more about this, and I won't spoil it too much. We'll talk about that in the interview here in just a little bit. But it was great to meet her. She is awesome. She was a lot of fun. She had me cracking up. And also, she is from the Austin area, so she gave me a couple of good tips on where to go since we're going there here in just a few weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that town so much.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I have a list of my favorite cities in the world. And like amongst them, I'm not going to rank them right now, but there's, Bangkok, San Francisco. But yeah, Austin is right up there, like in the top 5 easily.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back over there. Maybe we should do a little on the road episode when we go over there.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
we'll do that. Hopefully, our buddy Aaron is going as well. So it'll be me and you and Aaron in Brooklyn, and we're going to go yeehaw it up in the Lone Star State. Can we do that?
Yes.
All right, so we'll talk a little bit with Jamie here in just a few moments. But before we jump into everything, we did want to talk about a lot of cool Bonnaroo news. Well, some of it cool, some of it not so cool. Let's start with the lineup changes that came about in the past week or so. So first of all, how did you feel about it?
It wasn't any of the artists that I was just had to see, absolutely had to see, so it didn't really affect me personally that much, but I can definitely understand why people were upset about it.
Okay.
Well, especially why people were upset about Lana. I mean, she was a top-tier artist, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about what is going on with Lana, and I feel bad for the people that were really looking forward
Right.
to.
Mm-hmm.
I know our friend Joe she was like her number one, right? So I mean, I get it. I would be gutted if Tane couldn't
Right.
make it,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know. I feel like some people have said that, like, well, she's having to delay her album, so she didn't want to tour until that was done. I could kind of understand that, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, girl, you made a commitment to play at Ruth, so come play at Ruth.
Right, I would imagine that there's people who bought tickets based upon these artists playing. And of course, that's always in the fine print that they can change the schedule at any time. But I mean, still, if you had some of these artists at your number one, for your number one, you're going to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it. I feel like we all should have been a little better prepped for the possible changes that could come this year, because
Right.
this year, out of any other year in history, things are in flux. Things can come and go. Things may be a little bit different. Things can change. I feel like everybody knew that in the back of their heads, but like maybe we could have been a little better prepped for it in a way, with like some more concise communication. Which again, I know that all of these places that are putting together festivals and shows are like very understaffed right now.
True.
So I get both sides of it. It's not the greatest situation, but I feel like we all have to have a little bit more empathy and understanding and flexibility this year out of any other year, right?
That's a very, very good point. I mean, everything is so in flux right now. I mean, we're seeing right now the after effects of COVID.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just in terms of like artists not really being able to tour. I feel like a lot of it comes down to the economics of things. I don't know if you guys have been shopping around for like random things right now, but inflation has gone crazy this year. And I feel like there's a lot of places that are kind of price gouging in a way. I mean, I hate to call it that because a lot of places couldn't make money at all last year. But think of it in terms of like the different pieces of rigging equipment that you would need for a concert. Those places weren't making any money last year, and now there's a big rush for that type of stuff. So, I mean, it's a case of supply and demand. All of a sudden, there's a lot of demand where there wasn't before, and there's not that much supply. So, I mean, well, that's just capitalism, bro. Prices go up, and because of that, it's harder for some artists to turn a profit. I don't know if that's necessarily the case with somebody like Lana, but it is the case with perhaps somebody like the Deftones. I mean, they're not a platinum selling artist, I don't think. So it might be a little tougher for them to navigate those kinds of waters. Again, I'm just speculating. I'm sure that Brad and Barry will have a lot to say about this on the What podcast, and you should listen to them over me. This is just like, Daniel's opinion about what's going on. And that's why I'm kind of personally understanding about these kind of things. The same thing kind of applies to King Gizzard, which did gut me. I talked with Jamie a little bit about this. I was really looking forward to them, but I'm not too hurt about it because I know that I will get to see them next year. It also takes away that conflict between them and my Morning Jacket. So I would have loved to see them. I'll see them next year, but now I can just sit back and enjoy that whole My Morning Jacket show without having to jump from one thing to another,
That's a good point.
So it works out well for me. I understand it doesn't work out that well for others. And, hey, I will warn everybody, like, there may be another change or two before it's all said and done. I'd be kind of surprised if there wasn't, honestly.
I think a lot of people are worried about that. At least from the comments I'm seeing out there, a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, what if other artists start dropping out?
Yeah. Well, it is very anxiety-inducing. I understand that. Because now, for the next couple of weeks, it's like you're on pins and needles that, like, somebody you like could drop out. But, I don't know. Just my personal perspective, I think if nothing happens to your favorite artist in the next 4 weeks, it's not going to happen in the following weeks, like in the 3 or 4 weeks leading up to Bonnaroo.
Oh, yeah, I can't see someone dropping out the month of Bonnaroo.
Yeah, so much is in motion now, and even though things are on the uptick a little bit with this whole Delta bullcrap, like, it's not going to be to the point where it's just, like, going to stop everything like it did early last year, With that said, I know we said that we wouldn't talk about this before, but I'll leave it at this. Get your vaccine if you have not already. Because that thing is just affecting people who don't and get it. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, you can pretty much walk in anywhere right now and get it.
Yeah, probably be done with it, at least your first dose, in under an hour. But yeah, just go do it, guys. All right, let's move on to fun stuff. This is our 50th episode, and we've got 7 weeks until we go back to the Roo. So I wanted to take a step back, take a deep breath. We talked about the changes already. Let's talk about what we're most looking forward to. So I gave Sharla a little homework before we started. I want to hear your top 3 bands or artists that you're looking forward to and the top 3 things that you're looking forward to doing that isn't necessarily a music thing? And I'll tell you mine too. But let's kick it off with you. What are your top 3 artists that you want to see, Charlotte?
My top 3 artists?
Yes.
Okay. Glass Animals.
Yeah.
And I think that's in a lot of people's top 3.
Probably.
Yeah. Run the Jewels.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably in a lot of people's top 3.
I don't know. You think so?
Yes, because they were the band of the moment last year in 2020.
Well, yeah.
Their Run the Jewels 4 album dropped at a very socially significant time last summer.
Exactly.
With some of the lyrical content on that album.
Exactly.
And that's going to be a barn burner this year, I feel like.
So, also Camp, the folksy Americana band Camp.
I looked it up, and they're playing on Sunday. That's going to be a great Sunday chill-out set.
Yes.
Yeah, Charlotte's been listening to them nonstop for like a year, so I'm looking forward to finally seeing them.
Camp was really my quarantine pandemic band that I discovered.
How would you describe them to people that haven't listened to them?
Kind of like a little bit of a mix of the Lumineers, but a little bit more bluegrassy than the Lumineers. A little bit.
You know, I kind of feel like the late 90s alt-rock sound has come back a little bit with them and the band Camino. So, like, they kind of have, like, that late 90s sound combined with the Lumineers. Kind of like the Wallflowers. Do you remember them? That band with Bob Dylan's son? They
Yes,
kind of remind me of them a little bit. Maybe that's just me.
I think that might just be you.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't have the best comparisons. Okay, so I'm going to give you my top 3 besides Tame, because that's already a given. All right, Foo Fighters, I think, is my number 1 besides Tame. We have seen them once before, but I have been dying to see them on the farm for many years. We talked about this before. They're pretty much one of the best rock bands on the planet right now.
I mean, clearly.
And Dave Grohl is the best frontman on the planet. Lord knows I love Kevin, but he's still kind of like an introverted guy. Dave Grohl is not. He's going to throw a party for us, and I can't wait. All right, number 2. I thought about this, and I thought about putting Rufus Du Sol as my number 2. I don't know if I would right now, but they might be my number 3. I am very excited about this edition. They are a perfect vibe, a perfect fit for Rue. We've talked about one of my favorite stories ever when Queen Bubbles came out when they played last time. But this time, it has been confirmed that they're going to be playing the What Stage on Sunday night. For those of you that haven't listened to them, first of all, please correct that and go listen to them. The first thing that I would point you to is a live album that they did at the Joshua Tree Park. They are kind of a mix of like Odessa, maybe a little bit of LCD Sound System. They're a perfect sound for Rue. And what they're going to be able to do on the What Stage, when you see the video of that show that they did over at the Joshua Tree Park, you're going to see the lights and stuff that they're able to do just in a little space like that. Now, amp that up and put it on the What Stage. It's going to be a rager. I can't wait. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm not necessarily ranking these other ones. You mentioned some of the other ones that I'm really looking forward to. Glass Animals being one of them. I can't wait for that. I thought about this a lot, and I'm not really sure. I really love that we're getting Kroongbin now, which I'm still not sure how to pronounce that. I don't feel that many people do know how to pronounce that.
I would not know where to start.
Well, they're a really funky band from Texas. I know that much, and I've really loved listening to them over the past year. I think I would put them on up there. But, I mean, if I had to pick any other band other than Tame, it's going to be my Morning Jacket. They are the perfect band to be playing Rue for the 20th anniversary, which this is but isn't in many weird ways. And they're going to be able to play a late night set, and I highly suspect that they are pretty much going to be given free reign and can play until sunrise if they want to. And if they don't get to do that, that is a damn shame. I feel like that would be the best 20th anniversary present to so many Bonnaroovians, to just give Jim the mic and be like, it's yours, go for it. So that is going to be something special. I feel like that show is something that Bonnaroovians are going to be talking about for many, many years to come. And now that I'll be able to stay for the whole show, I'm very excited about that, right?
Yes.
All right, Charlotte, here's part 2. What are the top 3 things that you're looking forward to doing that's not necessarily musically related to Bonnaroo?
Okay, I'm really looking forward to checking out this Jam Tracks.
Yeah?
That they have announced this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is all about. If
So-
it's actually going to be logistically feasible.
Let's rewind. For those that haven't listened to our old episodes or haven't heard about that, give them the quick TLDR on what that is.
So Jam Tracks is something new that Bonnaroo has announced this year that everyone has been really begging Bonnaroo to have for years and years now. It is a campground transit system, essentially. from what they put out, from the little photos, the little graphics that they have put out, it's going to be essentially a trolley
A
type
tractor.
system, a tractor trolley type system that they're going to pull around the campgrounds. And I don't know if it's going to have stops or if it's just going to be a hop on,
We'll
hop
find
off
out.
kind of thing. But I guess we'll see.
I mean, let's be honest, it's probably going to be a glorified hayride, but that's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to know how it's going to logistically happen. Like, I'm interested.
Honestly, I think we're
to see
overthinking
how
it.
it's going to happen.
I think we're overthinking it because it's just going to be a tractor with a trailer that goes in a loop.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm still interested.
Okay. Hey, what if people just get really messed up and just ride it for like 9 loops in the middle of the night? Just take a nap in the back of that trailer. That'd be fun, actually. You get to be chauffeured all around the camps to see what crazy things are going on.
So I've
kinda wanna
never
do that.
made it to where in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Ever. Like, I mean, there's other stuff I've never made it to. And so maybe this year I can venture out and see some of that.
Oh, we definitely will.
Yeah. But that's only at jam tracks, if you can actually get on jam tracks, or if it's going to be like, oh, you have to line up 200 people deep to get on jam
I
tracks.
hope not.
We
shall see soon.
How is it going to work?
We
That's
shall
what
see.
I want to know. So we shall see.
What else are you looking forward to doing?
House of Yes,
One of-
presuming that it's
yes.
going to be there.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything, but I would be shocked if they were not there.
Yeah. House of Yes. You want to tell them what House of Yes is, Dan?
Oh, my goodness. It is a fun little rave barn that is the most accepting and positive thing you could possibly think of. They're perfect for Bonnaroo. They're based out of New York, and last year they hosted the Pride Parade and some other Pride-based parties that were going on, because, of course, it was June. Won't be June this year, but I highly suspect that they'll be celebrating that there anyways. And it's hard to describe. Just go. Hang out there, and you will see very quickly what they're all about, and it is so fun. I love it so much.
So I'm also looking forward to the silent disco because I haven't been to that in so long. I love me some silent disco. Like, just go
okay.
in there and in just the middle of the night, just go by yourself and just put on the headphones and just jam out.
Yeah, I will go with you. All right, you want to hear my top 3?
Yes.
All right, number 1 is going down the big-ass water slide with today's birthday girl, Chloe, because we made that promise to each other months and months ago that we're going to finally do that, because I have never been down it. In the many moons and many years that I have been to Bonnaroo, I have never been down that, and now I'm finally going to do it. And she's going to go with me. We're going to do it together. Maybe we can race. Do you think they would let us both go down at the same time and race?
I'm sure they would.
Oh, I'm going to win. Okay, I got this. Also, you mentioned this earlier. We did not get to go to Where in the Woods, so I am definitely going to stop by that and see what that is all about. The pictures that I saw of it made it look amazing. There was some like arcade machines, and you can paint things. So yeah, I'm all about both of those things, right? And my last one that I'll mention for now is the Rotary Beer Exchange. That is my favorite. Yeah, Charlotte forgot it. That is my favorite fan-driven activity that happens at all of Bonnaroo. It's just kind of like a big day party where we get to meet all of our friends. We've made so many friends at Camp Rotary, and then many other friends that don't camp with them also stop by. Our good friends with Repeat, who have 2 new singles out. You should go listen to that. They stopped by, and they had their own beer one year. That was amazing.
I totally forgot about the fan events.
Well, oh gosh, there's so many others too. You know what there really should be? This idea just popped in my head. Maybe I can commission somebody to do this or take the time to do it myself. There should be a listing somewhere that has a schedule of all of the fan-driven events, in the same way that Bonnaroo puts out a schedule of like their plaza programming or the band's playing or whatever. Wouldn't it be cool if you could find all of the big fan-driven events on one calendar so you could pick which one you want to go to? Or at least know about it ahead of time without finding out like 1 hour before it happens once you get there?
Yeah, that'd be cool because you're always there, like all over the place. Because some groups or whatever put theirs on Facebook, and some groups put theirs on Reddit, and some groups put theirs on Insta, and whatever.
I'm begging everybody. I'm busy enough with getting the bus ready and regular work. So if you want to take this project, get up with me. Let's collaborate and make that happen. I don't know if I'll be able to do it all on my own with just 7 weeks to go. But if somebody wants to volunteer to help make it happen, I will do whatever I can to work with you to make it happen. I would love to see that happen. Okay, so we're going to get to our interview in just a moment, but I want to tease something that we're going to talk about after our interview with her. Today is going to be the day. No, I'm not going to go into that song. Today, the news came out officially about the new arch. The Squarch is dead, the arch has returned, and it is better than ever. You have probably already heard about it. You've probably already seen it. but we're going to talk a little bit about it after the interview. But for now, would you like to talk to Miss Jamie of Austin, Texas?
Yes, I would.
She is a riot. She is hilarious, and she's one of our new best friends. I love hanging out with her. Here is our talk with Jamie. All right, everybody. I'm hanging out with one of my new buddies, Miss Jamie. How's it going, Jamie?
Woo! It's good. So excited for Rue.
I know, man. We've got only 7 weeks and change to go. Actually, we're recording this on a Tuesday, and it will be exactly 7 weeks from now, I suppose, because it's Tuesday, and we'll be able to come in on Tuesday, right?
Yes. If I only was smart enough to get a Tuesday pass, I would have been there. But I'm going in on Wednesday, which is my first time. It's actually my third year of Rue. My first year arrived on a Friday. My second year arrived on a Thursday. And now, obviously, I'm coming in on a Wednesday. So I'm excited.
Keep working backwards. So when they do this again, you come in on Tuesday next time.
Yeah, more than likely.
Exactly, yes. So you said this is your third one?
Yes, this is my third Rue. And it's been, I've been to a lot of music festivals, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening, just Bonnaroo doesn't compare. Like the positivity. I meet people and I'm wearing a Bonnaroo shirt in Austin. They're like, "Oh my God, are you going to the farm?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready to radiate some positivity right now. Get some, good high fives out there." So yeah, I'm super psyched.
So you're in Austin. So I assume that you've been to like Austin City Limits Festival and some other ones around there?
Yes, it's kind of hard not to go. So I've been going there since high school, and I've been to every single ACL except for the first one. And when they started doing second weekends, I was like, "Oh, I got a second festival weekend, so I guess I got to go." So I've been to all of them, and it's been pretty fun in the process, obviously.
I need your advice. We're taking a little road trip to Austin and back here in a few weeks. What's the best area for me to hit up in that area if I want to go see some local live music?
Man, local live music, we're going to have to be biased on this because I live on the south side for Austin forever.
Yeah.
And they've been opening up some great backyard bars, and I'm talking like 3 different stages. Like as one stage is going, they'll set up the next one as one of them's performing and just keep going. It's like a little festival at a bar. So shout out to Sagebrush in Austin, Texas. They're my new favorite bar. I would definitely highly suggest that.
Okay, I'm going to check that out because I'm going to be down in that area because in South Austin where you are, we're going to be going down that way because I am dying to go back to Salt Lick Barbecue. It is the best barbecue in the universe.
I agree. I had my wedding rehearsal dinner there, so I can definitely attest that is really good.
That's amazing. All right, we'll touch later on Austin because I'm excited. I love that town. But tell me who you're excited to see at Rue this year. What would you say your top 3 is?
So I give you some background. I fell in love with Tennessee going to college. And when I say going to college, I went to UT here in Austin, right? But my girlfriend from Austin High School went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and I went there every year since 2010, which sparked my love for Rue, and which also sparked my love for My Morning Jacket.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my goodness. They are awesome. And the first time I saw them, I think it was in Nashville at the outdoor, is it Ryan Auditorium? Something like that. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's right outside in downtown, and it's awesome.
They probably given it different corporate names, but right now it's Send Amphitheater. Sharla and I saw it there a few years ago. Yeah, it's next to the bridge. Yeah.
Yes. I remember that walk home. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next time I saw them was at Red Rocks, and this is going to be my 3rd time seeing them, and I'm just so psyched. But my number 1 is Big Wild. Like, I cannot speak highly enough. Look up Show Me, look up 6s to 9s. Those songs are epic. I just can't wait to melt in the crowd with everybody. So it's going to be epic. What about you? What are your top?
Oh, I feel like everybody should already know that at this point. Like I'm going to ascend into another multiverse when Tame Impala plays on my birthday on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your birthday. You're so blessed. So actually we have this in common because ACL always happens on my birthday. So my party every year is at ACL, which is super fun.
So who will you get to see on your birthday at ACL?
Well, Rufus is also playing at ACL, which is awesome. Stevie Nicks, which I'm honestly so surprised, and I know everyone who's listening is going to be a little bit bitter, but Miley Cyrus is going to ACL this year. I know. But I'm selfishly super psyched.
That's a pretty good. I thought I had a good birthday happening, but that's a pretty damn good one too.
No, that yours is. Rue is so great, and at least you get to. When my friend also has her birthday on South by Southwest every year, so over time it's cool, and then it's like, okay, I would like to do my own thing. Like last year with COVID, you would love this. We had our own camping festival that I set up at a private person's, and we called it Jamaroo, and it was amazing.
I saw photos of that. I remember seeing that. That was awesome. There was a lot of people that did different things like that.
Yeah, we're going to do Jamaroo number 2 in November. I'm super psyched. I'll invite you guys for sure. You guys should definitely come.
To Austin in August instead of November after the game.
That would be good though. But other bands I'm super psyched is Goose. I'd actually never heard of them, and then on the Reddit threads they're like, "Oh, I'm so psyched to see Goose." They're like Goose over Disco Biscuits. I was like, "Oh my god, I need to look this up." So I'm super psyched about that too.
I hadn't heard of them much either until they did a segment on the virtual Bonnaroo last whatever it was, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like if Fish had a millennial child almost that was from Europe."
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
I suspect that I'll have to miss it though because I'm going to be in line for the Tame Pit. But man, I'm hoping that works out. I would like to see a little bit from them. But that's
I'm excited to learn about the Pit. I didn't know anything about the Pit at all until I was reading threads on Reddit, and it sounds awesome. They clear it out after every show, and you just wait in line.
So
for the next.
This is kind of why I brought you on. I wanted to get your perspective on how things like that work. And I wanted to ask you about how the Pit might work for somebody in your situation. But before we get into that, can you explain a little bit about like what your situation is when you come to Bonnaroo?
Yes. So everyone listening, hello. Hi, I am Jamie.
Hey.
I'm 32. And when I was 20 years old, I got sick with meningitis. It's a bacterial infection. Sometimes if it happens to you, nothing can really happen. But for me, a lot happened. Long story short, I was in the hospital for about 7 months and got out of the hospital, was 80 pounds. Also a fresh amputee of all of my fingers and both of my legs below the knee. Not my hottest year, I would say. I was a college student, and that's the thing about meningitis. You're more common to get it in college just because of our social behaviors of spitting in our hands and shaking people's hands basically, and sharing utensils, cigarettes, all of the above. So my life drastically changed forever. It's interesting because when I got sick, it was like a month after ACL. And then when I was back on my prosthetic legs, it was about a couple months before ACL. And the first time I ever danced was at Austin City Limits on prosthetic legs. So music has a really big touch in my heart. Like, it's crazy to think that I was in hospital for so long, but what's even crazier to think that I was in hospital and didn't really dabble in my like playlists or music for a really long time. And when I did, I was like, okay, now I'm a little more motivated to get out of here and want to just get back into my life. And honestly, I would tell people about how I felt like I got back into my life about a year after getting sick, because I was at my first concert. I'm not talking about ACL. At ACL, I was standing on my scooter and wiggling my hips. It was very new. But to be at a concert and not find a chair to sit in, to not look for a pole, to not lean on my friend's shoulder for a break, I would say it took about a year. But yeah, it definitely served some challenges. I did buy a walking stick. It's badass. It's a giraffe, basically. And his name is George, and he's been at all the festivals. Everyone gets all the selfies with him. We almost considered getting an Instagram account. But he's cool. He helps me dance. He helps me maintain some sanity too. But the reality is, I hate the term disabled, but adaptable people, we adapt, and if we want to do something and we want to be front row, we will be front row.
Yes.
And so when it comes to the Pit, I'm sure they also provide an ADA. I really don't know, but where they just let people go in. It's like if there's people in the ADA bathroom, like obviously they're going to let the ADA people in if they're not ADA.
Yeah.
And yeah, people are accommodating, and especially people at Rue, like, oh my goodness,
Well,
most accommodating crowd ever.
I see how that plays in well. We were talking about how the vibe at Rue is pretty much the best vibe at any festival possible in the world, maybe even more so
It
than
is.
Glastonbury in the UK. So,
I
like,
know.
we're all playing as a team. That's part of the mantra, right? So I feel like
Hmm.
when some Ruvians run into others who need a hand, we're more than happy to in any circumstance, right? Has that been
Right.
your experience?
Yeah, I mean, almost any festival will definitely Rue, because you know, when a concert is going, it's really hard to get to the access point for ADA. So sometimes at like the main stage, is it the what stage? The main stage, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So at what, they'll probably have a platform that's around the sound stage, like in the center middle, and that's obviously super crowded as fuck. And you know, if you're listening to this podcast, make way. If they say they need to get over there, I'm sure they will move. I don't feel like I need to express this to people. But yeah, like, sometimes people don't think that I am ADA, because in a crowded situation where I'm like a foot away from you, how would you know that I'm walking on prosthetic legs under me? So I have to sometimes voice that. People sometimes think that ADA means you're in a chair, but that's not the case. So, it's a very interesting experience from my perspective, from being totally, able-bodied to not,
I think
and
that
having that.
because, like, when we get in situations where it's pretty crowded at a under the tent or close to one of the big stages, we're pretty much seeing everybody from the chest up because it's so dense, right? So you may not
Right.
necessarily know what's going on with the person next to you. I mean, that's just another reason to keep playing as a team and watch out for your fellow Rubians.
Right. Like, I'm sure we've all seen that girl or boy that's like, raged too hard and they got heat stroke, and we all just try to help. And I've definitely seen that, just not a heat stroke scenario, but just like a group effort to want to help someone figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. So you
But it
mentioned
is awesome.
those viewing areas. I know the ones that I have seen in the past. I feel like they're most visible in the tents because they're kind of elevated, because
Yeah.
whoever needs it shares that area with the camera person that's doing
Hmm.
the recording. Those look pretty
Right.
cool. Is the view there pretty good? Is it pretty easy to
The,
use those?
the view is sick, but the vibe is not as sick as being with my
Oh,
friends.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
will say that. It's like they allow like +1, which is great, and I get to experience it more than likely with my husband. But I'd rather just be with all my friends, and also, yeah, security is right there. So I just like to, be away from that if possible. If you know what I mean.
Well, okay. Yes, I do know what you mean. And the thing that I will point out about that is those security people are mostly making sure that people aren't like just trampling one another. The thing that I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you're talking about, they don't care about.
Yeah. I just don't want to be like, rude.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, thank God for Bonnaroo. We all need this. We all been wanting this for so long. Like, I hadn't even been in Tennessee, and like I calculated it, 3 years, and that hurts my soul real bad. But I'm excited. My crew, it's me and my husband driving up, and we're doing tent life, but with our RV friends.
Oh, so
So
you're
I'm
near us.
Yeah, so, but maybe even closer because it's the ADA RV area. So we'll see.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited to walk up and introduce myself to y'all. And
I totally forgot about that. Can you tell us about like that area? Because like we walk through that all the time on the way to the gate, but
right,
I don't really know like what other access or things that you may have there. How is that area?
it's sick. I love not walking far, especially with Jam Track. That's gonna be amazing. And I love that it's the first 3 letters of my name, Jam. So yeah, so for ADA, they'll have you reach out to the ADA at BonnarooAccess.com. I can't remember the exact address, but you'll email them. Still waiting for my email back, but I know that they're going to provide a tag, and for the tolls, the toll booth for when you're driving up and you have a shorter line, whoop, whoop, and and you go through, and then they kind of guide you to ADA. In 2016, that was my first time doing RV ADA, and we were literally under the clock tower. It was awesome. And yeah, so there's 3 different huge ADA RV parking areas, and then I know that they provide ADA camping too, and those are going to be like adjacent to the front gates and the arch, and yeah, it's real. They do make it accommodating, so that's nice.
That is extremely convenient. Does it get a little too loud there, being that close?
Do they get too loud or do we get too loud? Am I
Oh,
right? Sorry.
oh, good point. Well, I was just curious because I had heard stories in the past about people that were kind of near you in some of the VIP sections complaining about how Calliope got like way too loud and they didn't get any sleep. So I'm always curious about that.
Who are these people? God.
I like the attitude about this. Okay.
Yeah. So like my RVs in the past, luckily I've been blessed to like be grouped with 4 RVs, and we'll literally make a square, and the inside of the square is like our own little club. And so I've never really experienced the complaints of the stages being too loud. I worry that we're gonna annoy our neighbors because this year I'm bringing my karaoke machine. It's going down. Really into karaoke. Sorry, I was a little too excited. I'll calm down, bring you down.
No, please, by all means, I love the energy.
But yeah, I'm excited. It's also my car has a 2-prong outlet, so I'm gonna plug that in the car on my way.
I
See
like
how that goes.
in that area, like in the in that RV area, and kind of in the tent only area where it used to be. They're moving it now, but like that church boners area, you know what I'm talking about? That's where they really pull out the weird stuff because they know that so many people are going to be walking by. I remember walking by that area last time, and somebody had a giant inflatable big mouth Billy Bass. You remember those things? It was like,
oh my gosh!
his head would move and he would sing.
Yes,
One
I have seen that. Yes, that's amazing.
So
Whoever created that.
No, I fully support the karaoke and whatever other weird stuff that you guys want to have in that area because you're going to be very visible. Everybody's going to see all the weird stuff. That's the great place to have the weirdest stuff.
I know. I really want to bring all the things. I want to bring a whiteboard and just leave it out on my car and just like do something creative every day and let it be interactive. But I also don't have a huge bus.
Well, I was about
actually
to take it from me. Somebody that has a thing that everybody leaves things on, you're going to find some weird stuff, man.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
The weirder, the better.
Well, thankfully, I think people are pretty cool. I've only ever saw like one dick drawn on the bus. Like,
oh wow, just one. Impressive.
But like, it's always evolving, right? So there's always areas where like the paint gets a little worn down, and I have to paint over, an old signature or whatever. But there'll be something new this year,
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, I'm so excited about the arch, Daniel. Oh my God.
Yeah, so we're recording this the day that the news about that came out. Did you see the crazy videos that Bonnaroo put on their Instagram page today?
I did. It was a good tease. I liked it.
It was
real good. I'm so excited. I was like, what's it going to be? What is it going to be? It's going to be the arch. Oh, it's going to be bigger. Oh, it's going to be LED. Amazing.
Yes. I like how
all of the above.
It was in that second video where they were showing kind of like the blueprints for it. There was some note that there's going to be giant LED panels, and I'm like, yes, that is exactly what I wanted. So now
we just needed that weird 2019 experiment to, just be weird enough for them to be inspired. So I'm into it.
Well, the Squarch was okay given the short notice that they had for it. I mean, it was cool to have the giant video board. Now they experience that, and they know what they can do with an LED arch. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to turn around at the what stage and see whatever crazy stuff is floating by on that.
So I don't mean to sound like a weirdo who listens to your podcast every week, but
we're all weirdos here.
We gotta touch on King Gizzard and how sad we all are.
Yeah, Sharla and I have talked about that. I'm not too gutted about it because I know that they're going to be on tour here next year, so I know I'll get to see them.
Okay, something to look forward to. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it seems fairly likely that next year we'll have a lot of those artists that had to drop off this year. So I would assume we'll get like Miley and Gizzard and some of the ones that were supposed to have been there. So no, I'm not too worried about it. And in fact, it makes things a little easier on me because I'm not going to have to jump ship halfway through my morning jacket to go see King Gizzard. Now I can just do the whole time and watch Jim and all them. Yes.
It's gonna be so magical, Bonnaroo-rific, if you will. I'm just so excited for all of it.
It sucks, but it's a blessing in disguise. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Like Rufus coming in, epic. I haven't seen them in like 10 years. I'm surprised that they're touring, but I accept it and I love it. And then I don't know how to say that band.
What band?
K-H-R-A-U. Kroggenben.
I don't feel like anybody knows how to pronounce that.
Okay, cool.
You know that because they're from Texas.
Yeah. but I love them.
Texan.
Yeah, they played ACL in 2019, and I saw them over Billie Eilish, and it was so funky. I loved it. Oh my god, highly suggest everyone going there.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be at that show. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. It was tough to choose over Billie Eilish, but I think at the time I just didn't care. But now I care, and she's coming back, so it's going to be good.
There you go. You're set.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that like the rest of us Bonnaroovians should know about when it comes to like what do we need to do to make sure that we're playing as a team and making sure that everybody has a good Roo? Do you have any other tips for us?
I feel like generally everyone does a really good job, which is, if someone says, "Excuse me," I know you tapped on this in your other podcast. No linking allowed. I mean,
oh yeah,
it will be allowed, but just don't do it. But I'm usually solo. An ADA person going up is going to be with one or themselves or with one other person. Just let them through. It's so hard to like explain yourself when the music is raging so hard, but as long as we can all rage together, I think it's going to be good.
I'm here for it. I cannot wait. So
yeah.
I will get to see you in Austin here in a few weeks, but if I don't, I am definitely going to see you at Roo because you and I are definitely going to be at that same My Morning Jacket and Krungben shows, I suspect.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Daniel, you're going to love this. So my crew, we're all dressing up like produce, and we're going to be meeting at the My Morning Jacket or Glass Animals, and we're all going to be different produce. I'm going to be a strawberry. My husband's going to be watermelon. There's going to be an eggplant. There's corn. We got carrots. And we got a farmer, of course.
There's going to be a lot of people that are just going to see that and be like, am I really seeing this right now? Is this really happening?
That's our goal.
Oh, please wear those to the Rufus show because you may have heard me tell this story before. The really cool stuff comes out at the Rufus show. That's when the parachute people brought out the giant inflatable unicorn last time. I've already been bugging Ron and them about this to do that again. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of fun stuff at that show. So
oh my God.
That gets my vote. Be the produce, be the Fruit of the Loom logo at the Rufus show.
Yeah, if you see us, come be fruit with us or vegetables, whatever you want. If you're listening right now, go buy produce. We accept multiple grapes. It's going to be great.
Well, Jay, thank you so much for hanging with me today. I'm glad I could learn a little bit about this. And also, I'm so glad I got to meet you. We're going to get to hang very soon.
I know. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having a podcast. I'm going to be listening to it on maybe repeat as I get closer and closer just to psych myself up so much. So thank you for doing that.
Well, we're psyching ourselves up too. So we're all on the same page. It's all good.
Woo! Go Bonnaroo.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for talking with us. That was super cool.
I love getting to do this podcast. We're being a little meta about this. This is our 50th, almost said 50th anniversary. We're not that old. Our 50th episode. This whole thing is an excuse for me to make new Bonnaroo friends, to catch up with old ones and meet new ones. And just from like 5 or 10 minutes of talking to her before we even started recording, I was like, okay, this girl's awesome. We're hanging with her at Bonnaroo.
Seriously?
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like we're going to have to make plans. We're going to have to stop by her camp over in the front section because apparently that's where the party is at. She cracked me up. I was like, oh, is that area a little too loud for you? And she's like, no, we're too loud for it. I'm like, okay, this is who we're partying with. But she is such a blast. Maybe we will get to cross paths in Austin, but we definitely will in 7 weeks at Rue. Okay. So, speaking of which, we did have something come out that we will see in that 7 weeks' time, and it is a new arch. Have you seen the photos?
I've seen the photos.
Did you see the goofy videos that Bonnaroo posted on Instagram today?
Yes, I saw that.
The first one just had me all like, WTF, because it implies that the Squarch was an alien coming from space, and it was its fault that the old arch blew up and caught on fire. I'm like, who is doing this? Who is responsible for this?
That was so weird.
It was so out of left field. Yeah. Okay, so news had already come out. Like, some pictures floated around, and we caught wind of it, and then Festival posted one, that the new arch is kind of sort of halfway done right now. It's made of steel trusses, and they have it, like, planted on 2 concrete foundations, so it's not going anywhere, I'd like to see the wasps get a hold of this one, right? Because it's a big steel structure.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think it was in a Manchester City Council meeting or something. Jeff Quaylar came out and said that there would be a new arch, and that was a few days ago. So
we've talked with Jeff before. He's a smart media guy, so I figured that he knew that him mentioning that at the city council meeting would eventually get out. So I think he was trying to tease it up and get us all excited. Well, Jeff, you know what? It worked.
Right. So that generated some excitement there about the arch, and then photos started getting out this week, and
it looks awesome. It is bigger.
There's an arch.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if I want to say way bigger than the old one, but it's definitely bigger than the old one. So there's one photo where you can see a truck and a piece of construction equipment like right next to it. So it kind of gives you a gauge of like how tall it really is. So say if that construction equipment is like 10 feet tall, right? Because it's got the big crane arm and somebody can get inside of it or whatever. Then the arch looks like it's at least 30 feet tall. Like it's not like we're going to see a photo of the new one next to the old one. But just from our untrained eye, it looks like it's at least like 10 feet taller than the old one, I would assume.
Right.
It's insane.
I was thinking that same thing, yeah.
It looks a little wider. She's thick. It looks a little wider, too.
That's what everyone was joking about.
You remember there was like a TikTok video that was real popular. Maybe I'll find it and splice it in here. But it was this guy talking about his cat. And he's like, damn, boy.
Yes.
That's a thick-ass boy. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, a lot of people have made that connection with this new arch. And I'll tell you something else. I don't know if you noticed this, but in one of those goofy videos that they published today, they flashed the blueprints for like just a split second. And I was able to pause it. And it does say that there are LED panels going to be installed on the side of the arch. So it is the best of both worlds. It's going to be the video stuff that was on the Squarch on an actual arch.
That's going to be super cool.
Well, it is because like the possibilities are endless now. They can put whatever the heck they want on there. It can change colors and animate, I presume, But like something else that was in that Manchester Times article was Jeff had said that it was going to kind of pay tribute to the first arch. And I showed you a picture of it, and you didn't believe that was actually the arch. Do you remember that?
No.
Because
that first arch that you showed me?
It wasn't even really a full arch. Like, it was two poles standing up with kind of an arch on it. Yeah, and there were like two little disco balls sitting on top of it. So I'm thinking maybe they'll do that. They'll put those balls on top of it, kind of like they had Dr. John's hat on top of it for the 10th and the 15th anniversary. I would guess. But I mean, if it's going to be a big video board on it, they can put whatever they want at any time, really.
Yeah, they can just have all the old arches.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite arch ever?
The one, I want to say it was 2015, but don't quote me. It was the one with all the colors.
The rainbow arch?
Rainbow arch. That's my favorite.
I like what they did in the last few years before the old wooden one was burned down with all the sequins, because they could shine lights or lasers or whatever the heck, and it would like change colors almost.
So you mean like every arch every year? That
No, because our first year was 2013, and that did not have the sequins.
Oh.
It just had like some kind of like wooden red and yellow structure on top of it. And that's how it used to be.
Oh.
It used to be painted. There was one year where they painted like lightning bolts on it.
Cool.
Maybe that was the year the Metallica played. I don't remember. Somebody will know. But now it can be whatever the heck. They can change it hourly. I saw something else cool in that video too. It said something about like sound that would be installed inside those metal trusses that make up the arch. So now I'm thinking, my wheels are spinning a little bit here. So if this thing can flash LED video and it can play its own sound, can the arch basically be its own little miniature stage now? It's so wide. Could you put a DJ on top of the arch? And if the arch plays sound, could they play the arch?
Is the DJ going to be the new, is the arch going to be the new Calliope?
Oh my God, that's a great idea. These things aren't unheard of. One year they had somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody played the disco tower. They set up a miniature stage. Yes. I want to say it was Miguel. Somebody correct me and tweet at me or whatever if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was Miguel. Did a surprise set right in front of the disco tower. They put up a little wooden miniature temporary stage for him, and they filmed a video for it too. So I'm like, well, if they're doing all this new production for the arch, somebody should play the arch. That would be fun.
Can I just pause for a second? Nothing could ever replace Calliope. That was a bad comparison.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't know what this new arch is going to be. Maybe they could.
But yeah, that would be cool if somebody could play the arch.
Okay. Putting the suggestion out there now.
That'd be cool.
That would be, yeah, what if everybody's lining up and like going through the snake line to get in and all of a sudden, there's a DJ playing up top.
Playing the arch.
Playing the arch as you come in.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Like, welcome back to Bonnaroo. Here's your first act on top of the arch.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's a good surprise.
Cool, that'd be.
Free idea, guys. Putting it out there. If nobody else will do it, DJ Catlow will do it. That would be fun.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You should call him up.
Oh, I should? Oh.
Let him know.
Is this like a Peter Parker Spider-Man situation?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, about that, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for our 50th episode. We have no plans of stopping this anytime soon, especially, obviously, with Bonnaroo coming up in just like under 2 months now. Okay, guys. Sharla, breathe deep. Are we getting a little bit done every week? Starting to get ready?
Yes.
I'm doing some new decor on the bus. I'm slowly starting to clean out our coolers and stuff. I feel like we need to start getting a few things from Walmart every week.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we need to be doing?
My outfit.
Oh, yeah. My outfits.
Your outfit.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to talk about that. You guys will see for yourself once we get there. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. We have, oh, gosh. You know, I haven't considered this. We probably only have 6 more episodes until we go to Bonnaroo.
Oh, my goodness. If you want to be on the podcast, hit us up. If you have a good story, a good Bonnaroo story.
Yeah. We are getting down to the wire, guys.
Hit us up.
Like I said, 6 more episodes probably until we get back to the farm. I don't expect that we will be doing one from there. We will be doing our Wednesday night party. In fact, I think that we will have that to announce in a few weeks. And I think that we will have our featured guest that will be playing the Wednesday night party on the podcast. I'll give you a hint. It's a duo.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm just giving a little hint. Yeah, we'll talk more about that in the weeks to come. All right, guys. My one tip I'll give you as we start to sign off, make a list on your phone or on your little sketch pad about things that you know you need to bring, things you know that you need to buy, because now's the time to start checking off that list.
Don't wait till the week before or you'll drop
Yeah.
like $500.
We'll talk more about that soon, yeah.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah, what's up?
It's time to do the Patreon.
It is. Patreon. So there will be some bonus content coming your way in your Patreon inbox. We're doing a special bonus episode just for them. We want to do a kind of Ask Me Anything where they had some stuff for us. That will go out to everybody else here in about a week. But they get first dibs, so they will get it later this week. And if you want to be a Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Rubus. Everything that we're taking in will go to the Bonnaroo Works Fund. Well, not everything, 80% of it.
80%.
The remaining 20% will go to fund this podcast, but the rest will go to our favorite charity. So, awesome deal all around. All right, Sharla, do you want to list off our Patreons for this week? We've got a few new ones.
Sure, absolutely. Joshua Winsale, Babs Baker, Caleb Quillen, Madison Hutsico, Kayla Kavanaugh, Scott Hurst, Greg Bosco, Eric and Ben Abel, Kristen Straub, Natalie
Gaucher. Yeah, she sent us a message. We were getting the Cajun all wrong on that one.
Beyond the Hypnotic, that's Jace, Evan Brown, Jay Sanders, Chloe Hannon,
Happy birthday!
Sean McCarthy.
And that's it. Thanks so much, guys. Again, check your Patreon inbox. You should be receiving a little something fun. And everybody else you'll get here in about a week or so. All right, guys. I think we got 6 more episodes until we get back to the farm. Oh, boy. Okay, we're down to the wire. We're going to make this happen. Just hold out a little bit longer. Get your vaccine if you haven't already. Go get that done. And make those lists. It's almost that time. Charlie, you feeling pretty good?
Yes.
Me too. All right, guys. Get out there and radiate positivity. See you soon.
Bye.